Check. Yo, it's Tony Draper. Welcome back to the Whatever Podcast. It's been a long break, but I needed it. I tell you that. Our last interview was with Joe Torre. Y'all can check that out on the Whatever Podcast on YouTube. We still on all platforms, iHeartRadio. We on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. But I'm coming to you live today on Facebook. I had to touch base with y'all. I got a good interview lined up for next Saturday. A professional dunker, Chris Staples. So I had to get it warmed up. And we had some good news this week. You know, the NBA released their all 75th anniversary team. So they had to update the team from top 50 to the top 75. And you know what? We have to go over it. It was some things we just don't sit right with me. I'm going to go over the whole 75. We have Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Ray Allen, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Carmelo Anthony, Nate Archibald, Paul Arzine, Charles Barkley, Rick Barry, Elgin Baylor. We got Larry Bird, Kobe Bryant. We got to represent for Kobe today. We know Kobe was going to make it. Wilt Chamberlain, Bob Cousy. We're going to just highlight some of the big young names. Stephen Curry, Anthony Davis, Kevin Durant, Clyde Drexler, Tim Duncan, Kevin Garnett, James Harden, Allen Iverson, LeBron James, Magic Johnson, Kawhi Leonard, Jason Kidd, Damian Lillard. So they did pretty well, but there's a few names missing. I can't believe Dame Lillard and James Harden made this team over Vince Carter, Tracy McGrady, Grant Hill. What have Dame Lillard done? Well, let's check out some of the highlights first.
He was 6 of 9.
Oh my
Look
goodness.
at this shot by Lillard.
Oh my goodness.
Oh.
That was from the NBA logo.
Oh my goodness, what a shot.
You gotta be kidding me. One dribble over half court. Dead
We
center.
know we can
That
shoot.
was taken from Corvallis. Wow, what a
Man is a
shot.
certified shooter.
4-point game.
Knocking
Much
down
spacing,
everything.
you know why? They don't have many three-point shooters like that! Like that! Damian Lillard! If you don't do
He
that,
was the
one
MVP
dribble,
of the bubble.
don't foul, get out the way,
He
right
took his
side,
team
and
to the
let
Eastern
Dame
Conference,
have his
Western
time.
Conference
To
Finals.
shoot. A minute and a half to play. That's a bomb!
Oh my God.
He has at least
Ridiculous!
5 game winners.
Damian Lillard!
Now Porzingis is trying to encourage Rick Carlisle to challenge. He looks behind at one of his assistants on the bench.
With a half minute to go, coming up the American Express halftime report.
So Dame
What?
is deadly.
Three.
Probably going to go down as one of the best shooters of all time.
One dribble. One dribble over half court. And I raise.
He was in Bend, Oregon, wasn't he, when he shot this? Look at that. Man, oh man. It away, shot clock at 3. Has the defense in front. Long shot.
Definitely going down as one of the best
Right
shooters of
down
all
the
time.
hatch.
Not long shot. That's logo Lillard. Yeah, look at this. Look at this shot here. Shot clock running down from the A in Moda.
Lillard pulls up just past half
On
That
the
boy Dame
logo.
is deadly.
Just over half
Shooting
court,
from
and
40.
and it's easy now. But Portland 8 turnovers in the quarter, helping the case here. But look at that.
Westbrook always in that man highlight.
Beneath the steel bridge or something. Here's Lillard outside a 3. Got it! Damian Lillard from Oahu to the Wizards.
Just stop and pop.
So once again, welcome to the Whatever Podcast, and today we're discussing if Dame Lillard belongs in that top 75. When we missing Dwight Howard took his team to the finals alone. With Dwight is a defensive player of the year. Dame Lillard is that boy. We gonna give him credit for being loyal, saying the right things, because contrast him to Kyrie Irving. Kyrie has a chip, but look at his attitude, the way he behaves in the media. He doesn't like the media, doesn't interview. Fought his way out of Cleveland, fought his way out of Boston. Now he's in Brooklyn, and he doesn't want to get the vaccine. The media is frowned upon that man. So that's a big difference. And why we're saying Dame Lillard's career is better than Kyrie Irving's career right now. He's in the top 75, and Kyrie's not. When Kyrie has made one of the best shots in history for the chip, Dame Lillard, he making playoff memories. He's being loyal. But is the man really better than Vince Carter? Vince Carter played almost 40 years in the NBA. He was one game from the finals himself against Allen Iverson, the great, who made the list. I'm so happy to see no one is complaining about AI making the list. But Dame Lillard, I'll let Dame, I'll let it rest on Dame. But can I get on James Harden? That man, James Harden, choked in the playoffs so many times. He'd have moved out to Brooklyn, got what he wanted. And last year, he's injured, overweight. This year, he's looking the same. Now in Brooklyn, KD all left to his lonesome all over again because Kyrie doesn't want to get the vaccine. James Harden is overweight. So it's going to be a tough year at Brooklyn for sure. But that is a reason why I don't believe James Harden should be on the top 75 either. He ran up the numbers at Houston. But is he really a top 75 player? That is a good discussion in my opinion. I'll leave it to y'all. Check in if y'all listening. Is James Harden or Kyrie or Dame Lillard a top 75 player? So next, I wanted to tap in with Howard University. There's a protest going on. They haven't been taking care of the students. The dormitory is horrible. Right now, they're not even receiving the bare minimum. They have mold growing in some places. I'll let you take a look at this clip.
Well, students who took over Blackburn Center at Howard University last week are still fighting for answers tonight. They're still on campus trying to get the administration's attention. Fox 5's Jacqueline Matter joins us now with the very latest on their demands. Jacqueline.
Hey there, guys. It's been more than a week now that students have been taking part in this protest since they began that sit-in, demanding change over what they are calling deplorable living conditions. More than 150 students now taking part, many of them camping outside of the Blackburn Center. Tonight, they tell us, despite their efforts over the past week, not much has changed.
We understand that it is not a normal college experience to be living with mold and having respiratory issues and safety hazards in our living spaces.
Stories with videos like this one, just an example of what students have been living in at Howard University.
There was a cracked pipe that had been there since my mom went to school here and living in these dorms.
And others living with rats, roaches, mushrooms, and mold.
We've been coughing, like itchy eyes, just feeling really sick and like drained and exhausted, but really it's because the mold is in our rooms.
Students tell us workers have come in to clean and sanitize their rooms, but with little improvement.
I noticed that the mold grew back again this morning, and also they never cleaned out the mold in the AC. So we're still breathing in that mold, and I can't even live in there anymore.
We reached out to Howard University to ask for an interview and were given copies of the emails sent out to students mentioning efforts to go door to door and address maintenance issues. The Board of Trustees also said in a statement, quote, "Simply put, we hear you and we continue to welcome your viewpoints on all matters."
So real talk, That's nasty. Come on, Howard. Y'all got to do better. We have famous alumni such as Felicia Rashad, Taraji P. Henson, Puff Daddy, Anthony Anderson. Come on. Y'all don't want to step in and do nothing for the college? I ain't saying what people should do with their money, but I'm telling you what I would do with my money if I was an alumni of a college that needed help financially. I know I would step in for the HBCUs. It's been all this talk lately about how we should get our children and the community to stop going to these private white institutions, but and we should go to HBCUs. We should get our basketball players to attend HBCUs to generate more money. We're not giving them a good example here. Deion Sanders coaching a HBCU ain't gonna cut it. If all we got is Trick and the Pony Show, just a big name, big face, HBCUs ain't gonna cut it. If the dorms got mold, that's just, I'm not sending my kid to attend a HBCU. If that's the stereotype that's going to get started, is that it's just a bunch of fun, and the dorms falling apart. That's not going to cut it. So somebody got to step up. And I was wondering, why can't we make new HBCUs? It won't be historical, but let's just make some more BCUs. But back to the NBA. It's trouble with the Lakers. It's only 2 games in, and it's not Russell Westbrook as you would thought. Let me show you.
Stu, during the timeout, emotions running very high on the Laker bench between those two right there. And again, they're being separated. Here's what happened, Stu. Walk us through it.
I don't know what happened. I mean, they sit down. I guess Anthony Davis goes over and is saying something to Dwight, and I don't know what happens from there.
So now we got Dwight Howard and Anthony Davis.
This happens throughout the course of a season. It happens in
It's the
practice.
second game of the season.
Unfortunately, it happens here where everybody can see it, but it happens
Second
all
game
the
of
time
the season.
in practices for every team.
Dwight
Don't settle it down. Don't worry.
and Anthony Davis having some tension. So that's good. It's good to see your team chippy, but dang, we down by 30. We got Melo talking shit to JaVale McGee. It's just not a good look to LA in 2 games. We're 0-2. It looks like a whole bunch of big names and personalities and no one there to bring them in. Kind of remind me of why Phil Jackson was such a great. He was able to reel in a whole bunch of big personalities. Frank Vogel was able to get it done in the bubble, but I do not know if he will be able to do it with Russell Westbrook, Carmelo Anthony, LeBron James, Rajon Rondo. Then you got LeBron, Anthony Davis, and Dwight Howard. Then you got Trevor Ariza coming soon. It's a lot of people on this team that need clock and used to playing a certain way. So I wouldn't put my money all in on the Lakers just yet. Not yet. But I wouldn't go all in and say it's over with. Give them some time. It's the second game of the season, but it is not looking good so far. Chemistry issues, LeBron and Westbrook on the court at the same time. Oh, man. So I'll give them a chance. It's the first half of the season. And now I'll just give you in with some little entertainment. Go in the house. My baby's out here trying to podcast with me. So, I want to leave y'all with my favorite television show that's out right now. The finale is out. It's on Apple TV. It's called See with Jason Momoa.
The mighty Baba Voss. A fearless warrior in a world without sight. Everyone close to you always ends up suffering. Now it's your turn, brother.
I swore I would never return here. But Ito took my daughter.
She would never say where she came from.
I need to find out where he's hiding her.
Yesterday don't matter if it's gone.
What do you see?
A shift in the world. Goodbye, Ruby Tuesday.
We are chosen to usher in a new world. I carry within me a child born with God's gift of vision.
Sight will return, and the first nation to harness its powers will dominate the world. You're declaring war on the greatest military force in the world. This is not our fight.
If we walk away, thousands of people will die.
I know this enemy. I was this enemy.
So I'm telling y'all, if y'all watch Game of Thrones, stuff like that, this movie is the truth. It's a television show, on Apple TV. This is season 2. It's already finished. You can binge watch it if you want. It's called See because the characters are all blind. It's a dystopian world with blind characters, and it's just like everything else. And our real world, it started getting colonized, started having gangs, if I can say gangs. They start having clans, and it's just battles of who's going to rule these new territories. And then it's a few sprinkled in characters that can actually see. So you have family battles, you have battles between people who see alike in each other because they both have vision. So it's a real deep show. It has discussions on how people represent their nation when they're fighting their race. So I think it's real deep. It's great battle scenes. You have Dave Bautista fighting Jason Momoa. They are playing brothers that are at odds. You have Jason Momoa as a stepfather to 2 kids that can see in a world where they're not just a minority. It's only a few left. And their cast is witches, but I'm talking too much. Y'all need to check it out. See season 2 on Apple TV. I'm going to get into some music. The best release of this weekend was Wale and a Jamie Foxx feature. So I'm going to end it with that. Thank y'all for tuning in to the Whatever Podcast. Can't play too much of the music, but Jamie Foxx next week on the Whatever Podcast, but I have a scheduled interview with professional doper Chris Staples. He was one of in 2014.
Look, I'm by the spot. No, she don't love me no more. Ain't even funny no more. She had to move on to someone who got what she need. I only got what she want. I hope you covered in diamonds today. Hope you don't question the time in the day. Hope that you know that your mama ain't like me, and that's why I'm probably not by you today. Yeah, dearly beloved, was lucky to love you, but I ain't recovered yet. So maybe I'm jealous, but slim in that tux doesn't look like a level up. I think there's pressure, your sister is young and she chillin'.